Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank UNESCO for having engaged the Interpol in this sensitive international meeting on underwater cultural heritage sites protection in support of the implementation of the 2001 Convention on the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage and to debate on these specific issues for joint international actions to protect cultural assets and heritage from the destructive threats of looters. Interpol, the world's largest police organization with 190 member countries, has led law enforcement efforts to protect cultural heritage since 1947, nearly 70 years. Today, with decades of experience, our efforts are concentrated on supporting the international community in two interconnected areas. First, the exchange of sensitive information to prevent, identify, and reduce threats to cultural heritage through Interpol's Global Stolen Works of Art database. Second, connecting specialized unit for the protection of cultural heritage. The illicit trafficking in cultural property is a serious transnational crime issue that affects the countries of origin, transit, and final destination. It is sustained by the demand from the art market and porous borders. Our organization's commitment is to join the International Alliance as a partner in countering the illegal trade of cultural heritage and by providing our 119 member countries with the means to access policy information in real time and in a secure manner. In this area, Interpol continues to put a lot of effort into finding new ways to better fight illicit traffic and improving its capabilities to provide value to its member countries. To this end, Interpol's database for stolen works of art is a real key tool for the dissemination of information about stolen art worldwide. It is the unique international database fed with policy information as a tool which enables to diffuse the information on stolen cultural property quickly and to keep it as long as possible. There is no prescription for all projects linked to works of art because works of art have a particular status, according to which all stolen objects must remain in the Interpol database as long as they are not recovered. This tool is available not only to police forces, but also from 2009 to public and private entities, universities, action houses, journalists, museums, art dealers, private collectors, and also students. Today, Interpol's Stolen Works of Art database contains more than 49,000 stolen objects coming from 132 countries. Only last year, more than 46,000 searches were made against our database, and out of these, more than 30,600 were made by the private sectors who requested the access. Our database lives and works thanks to daily exchange of information inside and outside our network. In fact, thanks to the Memorandum of Understanding signed with UNESCO and HICOM, we can insert, modify, and delete also the requests for international searches coming from them. This possibility allows Interpol to support all member countries which are facing with natural disaster or war and for this reason are unable to send information about stolen works of art in real time. Unfortunately, our database is now updated with objects stolen from the archaeological underwater sites, because we are now receiving from our National Central Bureau or from our international partners requests for publishing international notices. The rules for the underwater archaeological sites are deeply different from the sites on the field. In fact, as you know, for the particular underwater environment, it is not possible to recover from the depths all cultural items discovered in the archaeological sites. The high cost, the quality and quantity of the items found, and also often the difficulties to operate in some areas and in high depths force the specialized unit involved in their protection to limit their activity only in inventorying what is visible, taking different photos of the entire site and of the singular objects. Thanks to this activity, focus in inventorying, and the possible analysis of two photomosaics taken before and after the illicit pillage, your nation can give us the correct information about the number of the stolen objects and the high quality of the photos taken for each item can give you the possibility to request through your national central bureaus to issue an international notice. In fact, also identical amphora or cannons can be different and recognizable thanks to the little difference memorized in some slides, in some photos. The possibility to have the looted objects recorded in our database may give the chance to recover them, as well as the possibility to request to Interpol to publish a special post for the most wanted objects. We don't hit in 2011 when we dedicated a poster to the lava treasures, which is a French national treasure consisting of the 3rd century gold coins found on the seabed of Corsica. As state property, these coins cannot be sold. But unfortunately, in the past years, the site has been looted several times. After the publication of the poster, and thanks to it, and then energies profused by OCBC and other national specialized units, some coins were seized. We can remember the coins seized in Italy by the Italian Carabinieri for the protection of cultural heritage and by the French OCBC for the coins put on sale in the United States. As Interpol, we are ready to improve as well as possible our support to our member countries in fighting this international illicit traffic in underwater archaeological items. That, for its nature, scope, and used routes, it is not different from the other attacks launched worldwide against the different expression of the cultural heritage by the international criminal organization and terrorist groups. At the same time, our international policy experience shows us that the illicit traffic in cultural property can be fought deeply and successful only when two or different countries involved in the same investigation are supported by similar legislation with close legal principle and identical crimes. We have to remember, in fact, that unfortunately the looters find in the sea depth different objects, and sometimes these objects are incredible, as this in this case that everybody can remember. We are speaking about the Ries bronzes nowadays exposed in an Italian museum. The first step for moving in this direction is the ratification of the different UNESCO conventions, and in particular of the 2001 Convention on the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage. In fact, ratify the international conventions will be simpler for the states to adopt, for example, the regulation of free ports and a better organization of the art market with more comprehensive rules regarding search for provenance, due diligence requirements, and responsibility of the buyer. In this framework, one of the recommendations at the end of the 12th Interpol Expert Group on Stolen Cultural Property held in Lyon in 2015 was to encourage our different member countries to ratify the Convention on the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage. As I told at the beginning of my intervention, part of our mandate is to connect specialized units for the protection of cultural heritage, to speed up investigation, as well as to share best practices. In fact, for instance, only speaking about Italy and Spain, the underwater archaeological sites are taken under control in different ways, with different tools and probably with different results. With this purpose, next year we are thinking to try to organize in Lyon an Interpol expert group only dedicated on this issue, to analyze from a policy point of view the present situation and discuss with different specialized units dedicated to this particular activity how to improve the police collaboration in this field and how to share as well as possible their different knowledge. So, once again, thank you very much for giving Interpol this opportunity to address you on such a sensitive topic. Thank you for your attention.